Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for waking up with us here on ABC4. The sun is starting to come up. 6:24 is the sunrise for today. Beautiful shot from our Black Desert Skycam. Sun just barely below the horizon there. So we take a look at our satellite radar. You're going to see we don't have a whole lot of activity going on. Just a couple of drizzles for the eastern Uinta Basin, but that's going to drizzle on out through the next hour or two. We could see a couple more pop up in the evening, though. Temperatures right now are in the 60s and 50s across the state. 50 for some of the higher valleys like Milford, Cedar, and Logan. Up here in the Wasatch Front, temperatures in the 60s and 76 degrees down in Lake Powell and St. George, not too far behind in Moab at 75 degrees. Let's take a look at what to expect over the course of the day. 71 degrees by 8 a.m. with clear skies. Clear skies holding on into the afternoon hours. 90 degrees by 1 o'clock, and then 5, 6 o'clock, we're going to start to notice an increase in cloud coverage, but nothing that's going to bring you any precipitation or even that much shade, just a cloud or two rolling off through. 94 degrees by 6 p.m. We do have smoke out there. Take a look. We have thicker plumes of smoke, which you see there in the darker gray on the eastern portion of the state, and light smoke, which you see there in the lighter gray. And that's thanks to not only the fires down in the north rim of the Grand Canyon, but the Monroe Canyon fire, which is almost at 50,000 acres, now the biggest fire in Utah for 2025. Take a look at this. This is our live view from Ensign Peak overlooking the Salt Lake Valley. You can see that haze there. It's better when you get a live view of it. That map doesn't tell the whole story. Now, the good news is that is going to get pushed away on a westerly flow. Our future smoke here will show you just that. Winds shift west, and so that means that smoke is going to get pushed towards the east by noon. We're going to see it towards Castle Country, the Uinta Basin, as well as towards Capitol Reef and Lake Powell. That's going to continue to do so through the evening. Those plumes of smoke continuing to thicken as the fires continue raging on. I-70 locked in with very thick plumes of smoke. Castle Country, the Uintas, and the Four Corners region all battling very poor air quality. We could see periods of patchy smoke and haze here on the I-15 as well, but most of it is going to be on the eastern portion of the state. Now, we do have fire alerts in effect. We have a red flag warning for the Central and Color Country Mountains until 10 p.m. on Saturday. We do have a red flag warning for the southern part of Idaho, and that's thanks to dry lightning and erratic outflow winds that could spark up new flames. And then we just got a new fire watch on the eastern portion of the state for our Book Cliffs. That goes into effect on Saturday afternoon. Humidity as low as 5%. That's very, very dry. Any new flame that sparks up could get spread quickly, gusts up to 35 miles an hour. We do have this dry air mass in place. We're dragging that desert southwest air thanks to that high pressure, and it's acting as a storm block, keeping the moisture to the north of us as we get into our Saturday. We could see a little bit towards the northwest corner of the state, but that dry air is really taking over high pressure, keeping us calm, and we do get windy conditions as we kick off the work week. As the high pressure and the low pressure squeeze together, it increases that pressure gradient and it funnels the wind right through the Beehive State, and that's going to worsen the fire conditions even more than they are now. Now, we could open up the door for a little bit of monsoon moisture, but it's not looking too optimistic. I do keep a slight chance in there because I like to be optimistic. We really need the rain, especially in southern Utah. Our futurecast shows there isn't a whole lot going on. Like I mentioned, we could see a couple towards the Uintas in the afternoon hours. And then as we get into Saturday afternoon and evening, that cold front comes through, mostly dry. And then there's those showers that I mentioned in the northwest corner of the state. But with dry air near the surface, I think a lot of it's going to evaporate by the time it gets to the Wasatch Front. Next 7 days in St. George, 103 degrees for today, 103 and 104 over the weekend. Windy conditions Monday through Wednesday, partly cloudy Tuesday and Wednesday with a slight chance of a little bit of moisture on Wednesday. Keep your fingers crossed. We really need it. The Wasatch Front doesn't have any moisture on deck, unfortunately. We have dry skies with just a cloud or two rolling on through. Windy conditions up here on Monday as well. Elevated fire threat. But ultimately, it's looking dry and temperatures are fairly seasonal. Let's take a look at the traffic. We don't have a whole lot of congestion out there, and that's great news. I know we love to hear it. We have average drive times from Salt Lake to Tooele, vice versa. If you're going from Provo to Salt Lake, drive times are about 30 to 40 minutes, and we're looking at a very smooth traffic flow across the state. Guys, back over to you.